Hello everyone, my name is iCoexist. Today's video, we're going to be, you guessed it, we're going to be installing SoftEther VPN on Ubuntu Linux. We're going to be running it on 16.04.3. Yes, I do technically already have a video on this. Unfortunately, it is nowhere near as detailed and as great as this video. This video is going to be much better, I guarantee it. Before we get started, I want to make sure everyone knows that I am not being sponsored by anything, because I am going to throw a lot of, I think I'm going to be throwing about 3 different hosts in this video that I think would be the best to use. Again, I'm not being sponsored, but if you hosters actually happen to see this, call me. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First of all, why would you want to do a VPN and why would you want to do it to yourself? Well, that's a good question. I guess it just depends on who you are and why you're doing it in the first place. Personally, for me, I do it because I game and I want to make sure that I have complete control over the server. That way, if anything weird goes on, I know about it and I can attempt to fix it to my best regard. So if I wanted to try to fix an issue, or maybe there was a port that was being blocked on a game that I really wanted to play, I could essentially manage that server, log in, figure out what's going on, open that port if necessary, etc. So that's the plus sides of being able to manage your own server. You know who's connected to it, you know the data that's coming to and fro. Honestly, it just depends on how technical you are and if you're willing to do this. Now, if you're not that technical and you're like, oh my god, what is this? Don't worry about it. In this video I'll be showing you how to do it. It's really easy, simple commands. You can't screw it up. I take that back. You could screw it up, but you're not. I believe in you. I trust you. We can do this. Okay, so let's talk about hosters. Who's going to host this lovely server of ours? NFOservers.com is going to be the one who's going to host that for you, because as far as I know, their DDoS protection for the price, mind you, cannot be beat. They're asking $7.99 for an access to 1 HT CPU core. It's going to be Intel Sandy Bridge or better. You're going to get a gig of RAM, you're going to get 100 gigs of RAID protected storage, and essentially 6 terabytes of bandwidth transfer. So for $7.99, that is not bad. And they have built-in DDoS protection out the wazoo. They use Internet, they use Savis. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of more tier 1 providers that they also use. They're great for that. And personally, if I'm gaming and I'm running a VPN, it's going to be with these guys. Now, if you're not in the United States and you're somewhere else, you can take a look at Blazing Fast, which I do believe is based in the Netherlands. So if you're not in the Netherlands, or if you're in the US, this isn't really going to be the best, because your ping is going to shoot up straight through the wall because of the distance that packet has to travel. But regardless of that, if you're in the Netherlands or around the Netherlands, Blazing Fast is actually a pretty good hoster to look at as well. But again, they only cater to that area, so getting out of anywhere out of that area, you're going to kind of run into some performance issues as far as that goes. And get this, if you're just messing around and you're just wanting to test it out, but you're wanting to get decent quality servers, you don't want to get those I think you can get VPSs for a penny. I just don't trust that kind of stuff. You can get really good, decent Vulture servers for $2.50 a month, which is not bad at all. You're going to get a 20 gig SSD, you're going to get 512 megabytes of memory, you're going to get access to 1 CPU. I do not know the specifications of that CPU, but hey, it's there, and you get 500 gigs of bandwidth. So it's not quite a terabyte per month, but it's dag-nabbit, it's pretty close. So once you've got yourself a server, or if you're already here with a server, sorry I kept you for that, but if you've already got your server, that's great. What we need to do is we need to get logged into it. So I use a tool called MT Putty. It is, in my opinion, the easiest putty to use, putty client to use, mind you. Excuse me. Ooh, throat's kind of a little itchy today. Mine is on a local network. Yours is not going to be on a local network, but that doesn't change too much. All you need to do is SSH into that machine. Just SSH into that machine. Once you are SSH'd into that machine, you will be set to go. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we are running either as root permissions or we are logged in as root. As you can see on my screen, I am not logged in as root, and we are doing some things that require moving files and changing permissions in the USR or the Universal System Resources directory, and that requires root. So if you're logged in as a normal user like this, you need to type sudo su and then type in your sudo password. If you're logged in as root already, you really don't have to worry about this. So if you're logged in as root, ignore what I just said. You're going to be perfectly fine. Now, after that, we need to update our server. Now, as you can see, mine says 0 packages can be updated, and none of them are security updates because there's none to be updated. But if you just got this server, more often than not, there's going to be a couple of updates and packages that you could definitely use. So we're just going to go ahead and update it anyway. So we're going to type apt update and then 2 ampersands. And we're also going to do apt upgrade. Ooh, I cannot type. Upgrade -y. What does the -y do, iCoexist? Well, that -y makes it to where you don't have to manually type yes or y at the end of this. I'm lazy. Anyways, for me, I didn't have anything to upgrade, so there's nothing there to upgrade. So yeah. If you are upgrading a whole bunch of stuff, go ahead and feel free to pause the video, and resume it when you are ready. Alright, I'm going to assume that you are ready. Now what we need to do is we need to make sure we have these 2 packages installed. These 2 packages are check install and build-essential. So I'm going to go ahead and run that here on the screen. So that's going to be apt install, check install, and build-essential. Now I already have these installed, so it's just going to say build essential is already the newest version, and so is check install. That's great. For you guys, you're going to want to install those. If it prompts you, do you want to install these, or is this okay? Hit yes. Now that you've got those 2 installed, now all we need to do is find the version that we want to download as far as the SoftEther VPN server goes. So we can navigate right over here to softether-download.com. That is where you download either the client, the server manager, or the server itself. You will always get it from this domain. Please don't download it anywhere else, because that is not ran by SoftEther at all. As far as the component, we're going to click this boxy thing, drop down. There we go. We're going to click the drop down. We're going to go to VPN server. We're going to select the platform. Obviously, it's going to be on Linux. CPU, Lord forbid, I hope it is not 32-bit, but it works on 32-bit. But we are going to select 64-bit, or AMD 64. And for the sake of this video, we're just going to be using the latest build. And all you need to do is right-click on this link that we're on. Right-click the link and select Copy Link Address. And then go back over to your terminal window. From here, you will type wget, and then right-click, and then hit enter. Once that has downloaded, you can run the ls command to see that you have actually downloaded it. I'm going to clear the screen and run it again. And now we need to extract that. So we can extract that by using tar x-xzf and then SoftEther. You can just type in soft and hit tab, and it'll automatically fill it for you. And assuming that you didn't get an error, that means you've done it correctly. You can run ls again, and you'll see that little VPN server that has been created over there. So now we need to cd into that VPN server directory. So cd VPN, wow, if I can spell today, VPN server. Once we're in there, we need to run the make command. So simply type in make and hit enter. It's going to ask you, do you want to read the license agreement? Yes, yes we do. Do we accept those? Yes, yes we do. And did you read and understand? Yes. How many times am I going to... Okay. Don't know how many times I had to press 1 there, but basically you just press 1 for all of those. Now once you're done from there, you've technically got it installed and ready to go, but we're going to do some things to make your life a little easier. First of all, we're going to get it out of the root directory, assuming that you're doing this on a server that you purchased where you logged in as root. We don't want this running in our root directory, obviously. So we are going to go up 1 directory. Since we CD'd into the VPN server directory, we need to get out of it. So cd 2 periods and hit enter. And then I'm going to clear my screen again. And as you can see, we are back where we started. Now, we need to use the move command to move the VPN server directory to usr/local. So you just type mv VPN server. Of course, you can hit tab for these. and then USR local. Once you've done that, hit enter, and there you go. Now we just need to change the permissions for everything that is in the VPN server folder. To do that, we will type chmod 600 star, because that's going to be every file in that directory. User local. Can't type again. Look at that. VPN server. Hit enter. Now we need to mark 2 scripts as executable that are inside of that folder. Those are going to be CMD, VPN CMD and VPN server. So all we need to do is can't type again. chmod 700 user local VPN server VPN CMD and chmod 700 user local VPN server, and then VPN server again, because that is a script. Hit enter, and we're good to go. Now this last one, this next command can be a little tricky, but this is an init command that's going to allow the server to be pretty much started whenever the server restarts, or it pretty much makes it a system service at this point. And you will find a link to just this specific command in the description below. I'll probably put it on paste bin, that way you know where it actually starts and ends, but I've got it right here as well. Alright. The contents of that script, we're just going to copy it all. Copy. And we are literally just going to paste it straight into the terminal. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to nano into a file. We're literally just going to right click. Once you have done that, hit enter, and you should be good if you don't get any errors. Now, to make sure that this actually happened, basically what this is putting all of this information that we provided within these single quotes here, as you can see, single quote. So between that quote and here is supposed to be put into this file. So if you want to make sure this actually worked, you can use the cat command. So you can cat, etc. init D, and then VPN server. And if you get the exact same lines of code that we put in it, then that means it worked. So we can clear that. Now we just need to make sure that we can actually use that file or that script, because we need to make sure it can actually run with the right permissions. So chmod 755 etc. init.d VPN server. Once you've done that, we're almost ready to go. Now we're going to use, if you want to register this to have start and stop signals for when you start the server and shut down the server or reboot, etc., and it automatically start for you, you can use update rc.d. And to do this, it's really simple. So all we need to do is update-rc.d VPN server, because that's the name of the script we made, and then defaults. And once that's done, we're ready to go. Now we just run the following command and your server should start. So etc. init.d VPN server, and then start. And then it should say the SoftEther VPN server service has been started. Now, at that point, we are done with the terminal. You can put it away or minimize it should you like. We will go back over here to SoftEtherDownload.com. In the component section, we will download the server manager for Windows. Platform, doesn't matter. You can get the zip package without the installer, or you can get the regular installer package. It doesn't matter. And then just download the latest one. I already have that installed on the system, so I'm not going to do that. Once you've got it downloaded and installed or running, I just have to make sure I find it. Here it is. It's called the SE VPN Server Manager, and it says Tools. Alright. Once you've got this open up, you'll see a window exactly like this one. Not a single thing will change. You're going to hit New Setting here. As far as the setting name, we can name it anything. However, I'm just going to use the host name, which is called Lab1. Host name is the IP address of the server. Mine is 192.168.1.9. And we are not going to put a password in because it has not been configured yet. So we will just click OK. Make sure you select Lab1 or whatever you used and hit Connect. And it will prompt you to change the administrator password. Please, for the love of God, make it a decent password. We don't want anyone having access to this stuff. Seriously. Hit enter. Password has been changed, and I am actually going to turn down this system volume for you guys because that was probably deafening for you. Sorry about that. Click OK. You're going to be presented with this screen. It will say select the type of VPN server you want to build. Multiple types can be selected together. You'll have to forgive them for the English translation on this, but they did their best. We're going to select the first one here. It's called the Remote Access VPN Server, so we're just going to hit Next. The current settings of the VPN server or VPN bridge will be initialized. Do you really want to do this? Of course we want to do this. As far as virtual hub name, it will tell you you want to set up a virtual hub. Just leave it as is. Don't need to change it. Just leave it as is. Dynamic Dynamic DNS function. This is for dynamic DNS, meaning that if your IP address changed, you would be able to essentially connect to this and not have any issues. So you can take note of that. If your IP address changes, you can always connect to that and not worry about your IP changing. So, you know, it works. So you can click exit. Now, if you want to use IPsec or L2TP or anything of that nature, you can enable that here. This allows you to use the built-in VPN client inside of Windows, Android, iOS, etc. So if you want to use this on your phone or anything like that without having to download anything, this is going to be the way to go. You can tick the first box there, and then the default virtual hub is going to be VPN because that's the one that we made. If you change the name, it's just going to be whatever you changed it to. And then the pre-shared key can be anything you want. This isn't a password for this isn't a password for the user. This is just a pre-shared key for IPsec. So this is going to be shared for everyone. However, the user accounts and the user passwords will be different. So that's actually not the same thing, so you don't have to worry about that. So this can be left VPN if you want it to be. And then you can click OK. I'm going to turn on this light up here. There we go. Let there be light. Now, this is important. The VPN Azure, I'm not quite sure how that is pronounced. But this is for hosting a VPN behind a private network. Now, you're really not supposed to do this, at least not in the US. A lot of providers don't let you do this because you would need a business subscription to really do this. But you can use this so that way you don't have to worry about opening ports on your router, which is it's kind of really nifty if you're wanting to host a local. This is one way. If you're hosting a local, let's say Minecraft server, this is low level, but say you're wanting to play Minecraft, you don't want to get a server. You could use SoftEther, right, and have a person VPN into your local network, and then you could play, the game together. Not that you'd want to essentially do that all the time, but that's just an example. But this would be for people out of the country who want to be able to share their connection, or maybe I want to share my connection with people across the seas, so that way they can actually get past their own firewalls. But for the sake of this video, sorry I got caught up explaining it. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to be using it, so you can just click OK. Now we need to create a user account. So just create a user, and my name is going to be iCoexist, obviously, and then the password. And then you're pretty much good from there. So just fill in the username and the password. Everything else can be just left as is. It's going to say it's been created. That's dandy. Once you've done that, you can continue to add more users if you want. Otherwise, click exit, and then you can click close here. Now this is going to be your best friend right here. This shows you an overview of everything that's going on. You can click various things to get various information, so you can view the encryption of the network, etc. First thing we're going to do is click on our virtual hub and click manage virtual hub. We're going to go down here to where it says virtual NAT and virtual DHCP server, and you want to enable this. If you do not enable this, your users are not going to get an IP address unless you manually assign it to them, which sucks. So you just want to go ahead and enable this. You can read this long stuff if you want. Kudos to you if you can actually understand it, because the translation's still a little off. But you can click OK and then exit. And then again you can click exit one more time. Now, I highly recommend this to anyone using this, that you also go over here to encryption and network, And by default, I think they actually upped it to AES 128 with SHA encryption. However, older versions will use RC4 and MD5. Now, I would prefer everyone use AES 256 and SHA. That way it's a bit more secure. But you can also go all the way up to here where you have ECDHE with RSA and AES 256 with SHA 384. I don't know why you would need all that, but it is there if you wanted to do that. But we're not going to be doing all that. We're just going to be doing 256-bit with SHA. And then you can click OK. And then from here, your server is set up. So go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a round of applause. And give the video a thumbs up. Give the video a like. We can, what do they say? Smash the like button. Yeah, we can smash that like button. All right. Once you've done all that mess, all you need to do is download either the SoftEther VPN client, or you can optionally just use IPsec, and I'll demonstrate both of those for you. Now, I already have the client installed, as you can see here, but if you want to download it, you just go straight back to softether-download.com, component, client, platform, Windows, and then you can download it there. Simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, we need to add a new VPN connection. By default, you won't have an adapter, so let me just show you what happens when you don't have one of these. All right. So now we're going to add a VPN, and it's going to say, hey, before you can create a VPN connection, you need to have a virtual network adapter. So just click yes, and it will make an adapter for you. Leave it as VPN. You'll want to hit yes, and then it's going to create a new virtual adapter. Now, on some computers, especially if they're lower end or have older CPUs, it might appear as if that is not responding. It might say SoftEther is not responding. Do you want to close or wait, or et cetera, et cetera. You're going to want to wait. If it says not responding, just let it sit there. It's actually doing its job. The system just doesn't know it's doing its job. But just leave it. Once it's done, you're going to click Add VPN Connection. Setting name can be your host name. You can name it VPN1, VPN2, VPN3, etc., etc. Host name is the IP address of the server. Mine happens to be 1.9 on my local network. You can hit, if you get a Windows security alert for firewall, you're going to want to allow it. And then as far as your virtual hub name, it will usually automatically fill this. So as soon as you type in your host name, if you click port number, you don't have to change it. But if you just click here, it should automatically fill that virtual hub name in for you. Now, as far as the authentication type, we're just going to use the user that we created. So there we go. And then you can click OK. Now from here, you can right click or double click and connect. And if everything goes well, we are now on the VPN server. Just to make sure that your IP address is changed, if you're using this on a wide area network, you would want to go somewhere like whatismyipaddress.com or ipinfo.io and make sure that your IP has changed. If it has not, there has been a misconfiguration somewhere, and you need to go back to the start of this video and make sure you followed, make sure you followed my instructions as closely as you possibly could. So that is the SoftEther client. Now let's take a look at the IPsec side of things. So let's go ahead and get rid of this, disconnect, yada yada yada. On Windows, you can just go to your Windows settings. We can go over here to Network and Internet, VPN, and then add a VPN connection. VPN provider is Windows built in. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I feel a little sick today. Connection name can be anything. Again, I'm naming it Lab 1. Server name or address is 192.168.1.9 for me, not for you. Probably not for you anyway. Under VPN type, we are going to select L2TP with IPsec encryption with the pre-shared key. And then, of course, our pre-shared key was VPN, as we set earlier. If you changed it, it is going to be whatever you changed it to. Type of sign-in info is going to be username and password. Username, password. You can tick remember my sign-in info if you'd like. Hit save, and then you can connect. And then should everything go well, you should get connected. Now again, I highly recommend that you make sure your IP actually changed. If you're using this for gaming, you need to go to whatismyipaddress.com or ipinfo.io. And that's actually pretty much it. You have now essentially created your own VPN server. And if you wanted to add users, it's super easy. You just go right back to the VPN manager and open it up, go to your users, and add some more users. It's simple, easy, and quick, and it's reliable. So if you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any issues, leave it in the comment section below. I will do my best to help you out with that. I have also provided my Discord tag somewhere on my YouTube channel. I do believe it's in my About section, and you can contact me there if you have any issues as well. Also, if you guys have anything that you would like me to explain further, or any tutorials you would like to see, also leave that down there, and I should be able to get something cooked up for you guys. Anyways, have yourselves a wonderful day, and until next time.